All right, you want to hear something really nuts? You know how last week we were all checking the weather constantly because of Hurricane Helene? Either because we lived in an affected area or somebody that we loved did? We've all used the National Weather Service's free information to stay informed or even stay alive. But did you know that Trump's Project 2025 wants to take it away from you? It's true. Project 2025, which is the blueprint for the next conservative president, which was written by many of Trump's closest advisors and mentions Trump by name more than 300 times, advocates for breaking up, downsizing, and in some cases privatizing the NOAA and agencies under it like the National Weather Service. Basically, gutting them. As background, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration predicts changes in climate, weather, oceans, and coastlines, and provides data that informs life-saving forecasts such as tracking hurricanes and intense weather. So why on earth, during a climate crisis, would anyone get rid of it? Because according to the MAGA climate deniers at Project 2025, the NOAA is one of the main drivers of the climate change alarm industry. Not climate change, but climate change alarm, because that's the problem, not this. They say, and I quote, that such alarmism is harmful to future U.S. prosperity. So they want to get rid of the place that is gathering and freely disseminating climate data. It's like getting rid of doctors because you don't like your diagnosis. It's unbelievably dumb. And before you say, oh, Trump would never go along with this, guess what? His nominee to head the NOAA last time was a huge advocate of privatizing the agency. Look it up. But not only does Project 2025 want to take away our ability to know when an extreme weather event is coming, it also advocates for taking away our ability to respond to it. How? Let me count the ways. It proposes an end to SBA direct lending. That's a critical disaster loan program. It wants to shift disaster preparedness and response costs to states by privatizing emergency management programs. It suggests that FEMA's budget should be slashed and calls for ending FEMA's flood insurance program. It calls for capping federal funding for small disasters at 25% and funding for truly catastrophic disasters at 75%. All of this isn't just nuts. It's going to make climate disasters way more expensive, not just for the country, but for people like you and me. Extreme weather is already costing Americans $150 billion a year, and it is rising rapidly. But Trump doesn't care. He's more interested in shilling for big oil than in protecting us from the next natural disaster. And J.D. Vance, exactly the same. Fortunately, we have another option. Kamala Harris not only believes in climate change and recognizes the existential threat it poses, but she has an incredible track record on climate, including taking on big oil and gas in court and winning. I very much hope that for the sake of our safety, our pocketbooks, and our children's future, we remember it in November.